Welcome to step 2 of the tutorial, where we'll orient the top corners and commute the top center. At this time you should have the bottom face complete, like this. In this case we'll also use the bottom center as white, and the top center as yellow, here. But before we go over all the 12 cases, let's go over some crucial algorithms. I've labeled them A through G. The first algorithm, and by far the easiest, I call A. Many call this the sledgehammer. Hold it so the headlights are on the right, and do the following algorithm. R prime, U, R, U. The following is just the inverse of A, which I call A prime. This is often referred to as the hedge slammer. Hold it so the headlights are on the left, and do the following algorithm. U, R prime, U prime, R. This next algorithm is optional, but comes in handy during the H permutation in step 3. I call it B. Basically, the left and right corners exchange places and then revert back to the original spots, using the mirror of the first 3 moves. The algorithm goes like this. R, L, R, L prime, R prime, L prime. This next algorithm I call C. What it does is it uses the U corner, this corner, to disorient the R corner, this corner, and then uses the B corner to reorient the R corner. It goes like this. R, U, R, U prime, Y. R prime, U, R. This next algorithm is the mirrored inverse of C. I call it Cback prime. I use the word back instead of mirror because it's performed on the right hand side. It goes like this. U, R, U prime, Y. R prime, U, R, U. Called the D algorithms. These are alternate algorithms, but are easy to execute. They do the same thing as C, but bring the R corner back down before the second half of the algorithm is performed. D goes like this. R, U, R prime, U prime, Y. U prime, R prime, U, R. The next is just the inverse of D, which I call D prime. Y, R prime, U prime, R, U, Y prime, U, R, U prime, R prime. The next algorithm is called Dback. It starts off like this. Y, U prime, R prime, U, R, Y prime, R, U, R prime, U prime. The last of the D algorithms is called Dback prime. It's just the inverse of Dback. All it is this. U, R, U prime, R prime, Y, R prime, U prime, R, U. This next algorithm I call E, and becomes very important later on in step 3. What it does is it takes this R corner, puts it in the L corner spot, brings the L corner up here, puts the R corner back in its spot, and the last 3 moves put the L corner back in its spot. It goes like this. R, L, R prime, L prime, R prime, Y prime, R prime, U, R. Because this handles an odd Z permutation, it becomes very handy in step 3 and has only 8 moves. This next algorithm I call F. Basically what it does is it brings the U, R, and B corners up to the top, and then brings them down in the same order. It goes like this. U prime, R, U prime, Y. R prime, L, U prime, R prime. You could also use the mirror of F. R, U prime, R, Y prime, U, B prime, R, U. The last algorithm I call G. This algorithm is only used in one case. It's tricky to perform, but has only 9 moves. Because of the awkward R and L combinations it has, I provided an alternate 11-move algorithm that you'll see later on that handles the same case. It goes like this. R, L prime, R prime, L. R, L, Y, R prime, U, R.